you have introduced a bill that will provide for the recall of politicians once they're not performing up to scratch. Is that likely to change the political landscape so far as our electoral democracy is concerned?
Well, I hope so. I wouldn't want to see it abused, but I think that in principle it's a very progressive measure, and I am happy that we're able to introduce it. Again, there are safeguards. We're trying to guard against mischief and people just acting out of a baseless sense of opportunism or naked party political motives. And that is why you have to reach a certain threshold, 30% of the registered electors, before the Governor General will advise will mandate the holding of the recall referendum, and also why even if you reach that point, 65% of the electorate in the constituency must vote in the referendum in order for the result to be valid. That is a result that says, yes, we want the elected official recalled. But subject to those safeguards, I think that it is a dramatic measure. I think that it helps to strengthen our democracy. And I hope that where the circumstances exist, the public will make use of this legislation.
What about other reform measures promised by your party prior to being elected to government?
Well, I think when you look at the 6th Constitution Amendment Bill, we have delivered, even if I say so myself, handsomely on the package of measures that we had promised. I say right off that after we managed to get the 6th Constitutional Amendment Bill vindicated by the Privy Council, I made it clear that one element of the reform package would not be proceeded with, and that is the Senate reform. I had at the start been very gung-ho about giving over control of the Senate to a combination of the opposition and the social partners. Patrick, perhaps it was a good thing that the opposition was able to delay the reform amendments for so long, because I have had a chance to observe the state of play in the meantime, and I am convinced that if we proceeded with that particular measure, it would lead to paralysis. Albeit the opposition would have control of the Senate only in conjunction with the social partners. I make no allegation against the social partners. I cast no aspersion on them. I do say that the opposition has demonstrated to me that it will stop at no length to frustrate the government, and maybe that is the way it should be. But I don't think at this juncture, especially with all the urgent issues such as the law and order situation, I don't think we can afford for the government's program to be frustrated, to be unduly delayed. I believe that in very many respects, the government's program will be acknowledged by people to be the people's program, the public's program. And it is in that context that I have, and without apology, made it plain that I have resigned from my original position, and I have no intention during this term, certainly, of introducing that single aspect of the reform package.
So in the meantime, what do you say to the social partners who have already chosen their candidate who they would like appointed to the Senate?
I'm saying sorry. Again, while this should have nothing to do with personality, I note that the person they chose is a representative of the Maya Leaders Alliance. Government is, let us be clear about it, in a fight with the Maya Leaders Alliance over this whole question of communal rights. The fact that a representative of the MLA is the person chosen by the social partners merely underlines my change of heart. No, merely makes me feel that the change of heart is justified and merely makes me even more determined not to proceed with that aspect of the reform agenda. So, as I said, Patrick, I said I won't apologize. I suppose I must apologize because of the fact that circumstances have changed, causing me to have a change of heart. But I don't apologize for the change of heart, because I believe that in the circumstances, that change of heart was absolutely necessary in order for the government to proceed to get its work done.